The first chapter that we have for your ICC syllabus is production, the productive mechanism. What are the factors of production? One by one in each chapter we will learn. So in the productive mechanism, we only need to learn the definition of production, or what does production refers to. Production means manufacturing of goods and services, creation of goods and services. And not only creation of goods and services, creation of goods and services that creates some utility. You have learned already about utility, serving some purpose, and in addition to that, in economics, production refers to the creation of those goods and services which are to be sold in the market. For example, we are producing, say my mother at home is producing roti, manufacturing or creating roti. Definitely it has some utility, but that is not to be sold, that is for self-consumption. Whereas that same chapati or roti, when it is produced in a shop for sale, that creation of roti, that manufacturing of roti or chapati is known as production, because it is sold in the market. So I repeat, production refers to the creation of goods and services or manufacturing of goods and services that definitely creates utility and are to be sold in the market. Please note it down. Next, we come to the factors of production. Means whatever inputs we are giving for producing something, they are known as the factors of production. There are 4 factors of production: land, labor, capital, and enterprise or organization. So these are the 4 main factors of production. You know, land is inevitable. Labor, the workers who are working, their efforts, the work which is being done, labor. Capital, including the physical capital, raw materials, assets, and the financial capital, the money capital. And enterprise or the organization, the institution, and the entrepreneur, the decision maker. Note it down. One of the most important factor of production is land. Now by land, very simply, we know the surface of the earth. But in economics, when you define land, it's not only the surface of the earth, but all other free gifts of nature that can be used for production. All other free gifts of nature that can be used for production, where production can be carried out with those free gifts of nature, is known as land, like the mineral resources, like the water reserves, forest resources. So all these resources are included in the definition of land along with the surface of the earth in economics. Please take a note of it. Land not only refers to the surface of the earth, definitely refers to the surface of the earth, but not only this, but all other free gifts of nature that can be used to carry out production process, like the mineral resources, water resources, etc. Please note it down. Next, we come to the topic of characteristics of land. Land has certain features which we need to know, which we have to study. The captions along with very simple single line explanations. Now listen to the explanations very carefully. First, among various significant features of land, one of the most significant feature of land is supply of land is fixed. Means the total area of the land in the earth is fixed. Its supply cannot be increased. However, please take a note, however, the operational area of land can be increased. Operational area means See, we have already defined land as the water resources, as the forest reserves, mineral resources, all these things. Now, when we are talking about the supply of land is fixed, so all those are included. Now, the operation area where the land is operational, whether you build a house, whether you build a factory, whether you go for agriculture, whether you go for industrial work, that can be increased. The operational area of land can be increased by, say, filling up a pond, by cutting down forest reserves. So that's why supply of total land is fixed. However, the operational area can be increased, can change. Come to point number 2. Production of land is costless. Production of land is costless. In the sense, for producing land, for manufacturing land, it doesn't have any cost. Now you may ask or you may think that land is so costly nowadays. Now that cost refers to the change in hand, change in ownership. My land, my portion of land, a certain area of land, I am selling it to someone else. So there is a transfer of ownership. The cost may be involved in transfer of ownership, but the production, for the production of the land which was already there, which is a free gift, okay, that production is costless. I did not produce the land, I did not bear any cost in producing that area of land. Next you have a very simple one, very self-explanatory one. Land is immobile. You know, land cannot move from one place to another like other factors of production, like labor, like capital. It cannot change location. So land is immobile. Land is heterogeneous. You know, land is the fertility of the land. If you come to the cultivational use of the land, agricultural purpose, the fertility of land is not same. The plain lands, the hilly areas, the different coastal areas, Gangetic plains. So different land has different properties. So the composition, according to the locational variation, the land is heterogeneous, not homogeneous, not identical. It's heterogeneous. Land has alternative uses. Land can be used for different purpose. Land can be used for building a house. It can be used for building a factory. It can be used for agricultural purpose. It can be used for different commercial uses. So land has different uses. What we call the characteristic as land has alternative uses. And finally, land, the law of diminishing marginal return operates for land. Suppose you have a fixed area of land and you are including more and more of labor. A certain amount of labor being employed gives certain amount of return. Say farming, for the farming purpose, agricultural purpose, you are using that amount of labor and a certain amount of output we receive. Now, if more and more of labor is being employed on that same area of land, definitely the amount of output will increase, but at a decreasing rate. For every additional labor employed, for every additional unit of input employed, the amount of output will increase, but the rate, the amount by which it increases, gradually decreases. So that's the law of diminishing marginal returns. So these are the basic or the significant characteristics of land. Please note these things. You need to study the text very nicely, and in short, in a sentence or maximum two, for each caption, for each point, you have to write one explanation as explained. Listen carefully the explanations. You can write it from there only. Okay. So now for a 5 marks question, if you are given, write down the characteristic features of land, and the maximum marks that can be allotted for your ICSE exams is 5. So you can write any 5 points. But children, please note that you have to study all of them for any point can be asked for a short question of 2 marks. So it's not that I learn only 5, you have to learn all for short questions coming from any one of the point, but for a long question you can write any 5. Please note it down and listen carefully the explanations and take a note of it in your classwork copies.